Welcome back. Let's begin this new part of the tutorial dedicated to creating armor for our character using Maya and Zbrush. Here we have a simple character that I created, and I will now import it into Zbrush. Once in Zbrush, I proceed to increase the subdivisions by pressing Ctrl+D at least twice, in order to make the surface more detailed. Then, I delete the newly created subdivisions. I start working on the armor, in this case, using a small draw size. To enable me to work with a wider brush, I go to Preferences, then Draw, and increase the max brush size to 5000. Holding down Ctrl, I begin to draw the mask of what will become the armor, making sure to enable symmetry. The mask of what will become our armor. Once we are satisfied with our armor, we go to the mask menu and apply a blur and fill operation. This will help to smooth and refine the edges of our mask. After doing this, we go to Subtool to extract. We'll do some tests to determine the optimal extraction settings. It's important to note that until we click Accept, the extract function won't have any effect. Also, remember to disable the double option, as we don't need the backside of our armor. I search for the ideal value, which is 0.001 if I'm not mistaken. If I'm satisfied with the extraction, I click Accept. Once accepted, we can see that our chest piece is highlighted but fully masked. I remove the mask, enable polyframe, and proceed to perform a remesh operation. I first enable Adapt and then Subdivide. At some point, I disable Adapt to ensure the shape looks good. I continue this remesh operation until I have a very low polygon count. With the polygon count at around 1000, once we have achieved the desired number, I switch to the deformation menu and apply the classic polish technique. For polishing, we can use options such as Polish Crisp Edge, Polish by Group, and Polish Features. These techniques will help us refine the surface and create clean and sharp lines along the boundaries of the armor, even if it may initially appear distorted. Then, using the Move brush, I readjust the shape of my armor. I switch to Modeler and focus on selecting the vertices, which can be a bit challenging with both the pen tablet and the mouse. Nonetheless, I manage to select the vertices and proceed to move the desired points. In this case, I took the edge, zoomed in to select the vertex, pressed the spacebar on the vertex, and switched to the Move to in the menu that appears. I select the desired vertex and start moving it to create the desired shape. It's a basic form. Then, I switch to the Move Topology brush, increase the brush size, and begin sculpting the desired shapes. Once I'm satisfied with the form, I go back to the geometry menu and enable dynamic subdivision. This allows me to give thickness to the surface while increasing the density, while still maintaining the shape we established earlier. That's correct, the modifications won't be applied to the surface until we click apply. I make the final tweaks to the shape. And then we can start sculpting by enabling Dynamesh. At this point, the vertex count will become very high, but remember, it's still a blocking phase. As we approach the finish line, everything will be optimized. I personally use tools I have created, but you can also find tools online for this purpose. A mix of those created by me, those used online, but they are no more or less than the default tools you have in Zbrush. In this case, I take the clay brush from my collection and use it to sculpt the final housing for a gem that I want to add to this armor. I will then begin sculpting using techniques such as reduction, increase, pinch, and trim dynamic on the entire area I am currently highlighting. Now I will fast forward the video, as it's essentially a drawing process where you apply the desired design using default tools. The polish, pinch, and clay brush tools essentially do the same thing. It's all about using different alphas. Don't worry if you see everything appearing non-linear or rough, as in the final stage, we will clean up everything. Not in this tutorial, but in the final tutorial, we will clean everything up, ensuring that it looks clean, and certain details will be slightly softened. But we'll address that in the next tutorial. For now, I will focus on carving out the desired area. Using Trim Dynamic, I add some extra surface, smooth out the edges a bit, and we're almost done. The last step will be to highlight the housing for the gemstone in the center. Oh, and I also add some details to the armor using trim dynamic. Please note that I should be careful not to do what I'm showing in the video because my hand is blocking the view. So, I make sure to clean it up properly and then focus on the shoulder pads. I adjust them as if they were connected to the pendant using the move brush. I fix any areas that appear to be broken or distorted. It will be more of a hint or suggestion of the final details. Now, I proceed to highlight a mask, specifically the housing for the central sphere. I hold down Ctrl and draw the desired area with precision. Then, I invert the mask and go to the masking menu to apply a bit of blur and sharpening, just like before. Next, I use the move brush to center the pivot on the area of interest and move the mask forward. I invert the mask and use the smooth brush to refine the boundaries, and this concludes the first part. We will continue in the next part, focusing on the torso and then moving on to the legs, shoulders, and hands. The ultimate goal is to bring the armor, after applying the texture, into Unreal Engine to give it life and interactivity. So, please follow along. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I hope to see you in the next one. Thank you. Ciao.